Hi, I'm Trevor Williams with Global Atlanta, and we're here at the High Museum of Art, and I'm here with the director of the Louvre Museum, Henri Loyrette. And Mr. Loyrette, welcome to Atlanta again.
Thank you.
Great. I'm wondering how, since you've been director of the Louvre since 2001.
Yes, 8 years now. Seven, sorry.
How has the museum changed under your leadership?
Oh, I hope a lot, you know. It was, one of the most important things we did, it's just to open it to the world, I think. And Atlanta is a good example of what we are trying to do, you know. The Louvre was created as a universal museum. That means a museum open to everybody and sharing its collection, its knowledge with all the institutions in the world. And it's exactly what we are trying to do here.
And how difficult was it when you were going about this, establishing this partnership at a time of kind of harsh Franco-American relations? How difficult was it to convince people in Paris that this needed to be done?
I don't think it was difficult. You know, the main problem was not the question of Franco-American relationship. The main problem was some were very reluctant to see masterpieces going outside of the Louvre. And we had to explain what is, in which way it's a very special partnership. And it took time just to explain and to see how successful it is and how necessary, not only, I guess, for people from Atlanta, but also for the Louvre. And I think after 3 years we proved it, so I'm very proud of it.
And how has this been different? You've worked with U.S. museums in the past, but how has this partnership been specifically different?
It's very different. You know, when we worked, United States are our main partner, that's true. And knowing that we are one of the most important American museums in the world, we have more visitors than many American museums, more American visitors than many American museums. And so my goal was really to think about renewing this kind of relationship with the United States, knowing that for years, decades, we worked always with the same institution, let's say the big institution from the East Coast, from Washington to Boston and so on, and we still continue obviously to do it. But it was interesting to take an account of the changes in the artistic map in the United States, which is something very striking, you know. And Atlanta was a good choice, you know. It was what we did in Atlanta was possible only in Atlanta, I think. So finally, I'm very happy and proud of it.
What were the characteristics that made Atlanta such a fertile place for you to do this?
Because it's a new museum, there was this appetite for doing something different, for having a partnership of 3 years, which is not something obvious in a way, and to deal not only with exhibitions, but also with which makes a museum today. That means education, research, scientific projects, and so on.
Has this partnership been considered a success in Paris, in your view?
Yes, now yes. At the beginning it was difficult, but now after 3 years, yes.
Will this, do you think this partnership will be a forerunner to similar collaborations between the Louvre and other museums in the U.S.?
I think it's very innovative, but we did it especially for Atlanta. If we do it elsewhere, you have to change, and to do something different. In the same way, we are thinking to what we could do with Atlanta just after this 3-year partnership. So it's, we're all thinking to all these things, which are very exciting, you know.
And how many artworks have made the trip over the Atlantic since this started?
Very important works came to Atlanta for the first time. For example, this year, the Astronomer by Vermeer, which never left France before, or The Lady of Auxerre, for example, this fantastic Greek sculpture which is going to the United States for the first time.
And how was the masterpiece theme for this final exhibition developed?
I think, you know, what we try to do during these 3 days is to explain what is the Louvre and everything about the connection of the Louvre since the beginning, the creation of the museum at the end of the 18th century to our days, and to consider for the third year what are the problems of a museum today. And the main problem is really to make accessible the collection, how to explain a work, how to look at a work of art. So it's exactly that kind of question we're trying to answer today, knowing that we share it with you. It's an obvious question for every museum in the world.
And in your view, I guess, in light of your recent efforts to do fundraising as the public funding for the Louvre has declined in France, How do you view arts as an economic development tool for cities like Atlanta and different countries?
I think it's important, you know, and it's something which is striking that in the United States, but not only in the United States, in France also, you have new museums and people trying to do something with culture. They know that culture is important for many different reasons, because a museum plays a role not only in the economics of a city, but also it plays a social role, for example, and which is something very important in terms of education, but also in terms of integration, for example. So the museum is not only a place where you display works of art for people who naturally go to the museum. It's much more than that, and it plays in the city, I think, a central role now.